Hi everybody, I'm Todd Bailey with SEOservices.com, and today I wanted to speak regarding the anti-SOPA movement going on, as well as some antitrust concerns related to Google. And I'm joined by Chris County, who is the Director of SEO Strategy. Thanks, Chris, for joining me today.
It's good to be back, thanks.
Yeah, absolutely, anytime. There's a lot going on in SEO this past week regarding the anti-SOPA movement, as well as the antitrust, which we'll touch on in a minute. So there is this anticipated blackout coming January 18th from internet giants such as Amazon, Facebook, and Google. And boy, I'm really excited to see what that's going to look like if that happens.
It's going to be interesting. One of the things that we talk about in the industry is that you don't really know, if you're not in this industry, what's going on until something makes headlines. This is definitely one of those things that would make headlines if it were to actually happen. If you go to google.com and suddenly you can't go there, and you go to Amazon and the site doesn't load and you're blocked, that's definitely going to turn some heads, and it's going to make news all around the world.
Yeah, turn some heads and international news for sure, as this anti-SOPA has grown within our own internal community, but would certainly shed some light if you can't get onto your Facebook or your Google accounts.
Exactly.
So that being said, I want to talk a little bit how that translates or correlates with a PR standpoint. I think Google is definitely on the right side related to anti-SOPA, but that being said, with what's going on with personalization and Google plus your world, why don't you talk a little bit about that antitrust, and is there a concern?
Sure. Google plus your world, if you're not familiar with what recently happened on Google, is they've combined Google Plus, the social network that Google just launched not too long ago, with search results. So they essentially integrated social media with search results. So if you're not on Google Plus, they're doing everything in their power to get you on Google Plus. And a lot of that has to do with not having access to social media data from places like Facebook and Twitter, and incorporating their own data into search results to help users make better decisions. At least that's, in Google's own terms.
Yeah, and Chris County writes a lot regarding this topic, as well as many others, and was included in the search engine land recap the other day. So certainly follow Chris on his topics. And talking specifically about that Firehose and Facebook and Twitter's data feed, cutting that off, do you think this movement is more of a short-term strategy from Google to be defensive?
I think it's definitely an inflammatory statement by Google to kind of get the attention of these other social media giants, and they definitely did. Twitter responded directly regarding this move and made it known that they were not pleased. And then we take a step back and look and say, well, Google used to have access to the Twitter data directly within their search results, and Twitter cut off the fire hose, or they turned the fire hose off, however you want to put it. And so now they're kind of they backed themselves into a corner and kind of forced Google's hand into integrating their own social data because the data wasn't there anymore.
Yeah. So Google plus your world then in turn becomes Google plus your Google world, which is a little concerning to me when I think about some controversial dialogue regarding the filter bubble that was pushed out, where Google is serving up what they want you to see, and there's this outside content that you really aren't able to see. So it becomes a concern, and wouldn't it be interesting if this is the dialogue that we're more international as opposed to the anti-SOPA movement?
Right. It's good that like for Google, it's good that these things are happening at the same time, because one is definitely going to take precedence over the other in terms of headlines, and it's just simply going to get more press if these sites are turned off versus any antitrust concerns that are being raised by Google plus your world and turning off organic search result keyword terms versus not turning off organic terms for paid search.
Yeah, absolutely, and we see it as SEOs every day with what's going on with the not provided within analytics. Why don't you touch a little bit about that?
Exactly. That's exactly what I was talking about, where you do an organic search in Google, and just a couple of months ago, people who are logged into Google, the keyword they used to find your website was no longer displayed within analytics. It was changed to not provided within parentheses. And Google touted this as a way to protect some users' privacy. However, if you have an AdWords account and someone clicks on your ad, you still usually see that ad based on a keyword that you put into Google, but that keyword will now show up in analytics regardless if the person's logged in or not. So is it really antitrust or privacy concerns, or is it just Google forcing more people to use their product?
And as SEOs, we see this every day, and we know there is a lot of data out there, and it'd be interesting to see if that dialogue, again, were at the forefront. If that were the case, do you think Google might lose some market share?
I think if it was brought to more attention of people that could make decisions like that they would definitely, they could definitely lose some market share. We know that Bing just overtook Yahoo as the #2 search engine, and we see them with a lot of Facebook integration, a lot of things that they could potentially do what Google's doing now and have a lot more data to work with. And so it'd be interesting if they don't take the bait, if Facebook doesn't release the data and Twitter doesn't release the data, and then they decide to make their own version of Google Plus or this Google Plus Your World where it integrates search and social. It would be interesting to see in the next few months just how much of the market share they lose.
Yeah, it will be, and that antitrust and the personalization will be at the forefront at these upcoming months. But for now, January 18th, stick around. Let's see what happens with the anti-SOPA movement. Chris County, again, thanks for joining me.
Thanks for having me.
I'm Todd Bailey with SEOservices.com.